This is a sample lesson of a Teleform master course at Smile Nihongo Academy. Learn more about the course at smilenihongo.com/te. As we discussed in the very first lesson of this course, one function of the Teleform is to list multiple actions in one sentence. For instance, let's say you want to say something like this. I wake up at 6, do yoga, eat breakfast, and go to work. You have 4 verbs in this sentence. Wake up, do, eat, and go. Or you may want to say something like this. My wife wakes up at 6, does yoga, eats breakfast, and goes to work. Again, you have 4 verbs in one sentence here. To say these sentences in Japanese, you have to say the first 3 verbs in te form, and the one at the end of the sentence in mas form. In this lesson, I'm going to walk you through how to use te forms to construct sentences with multiple verbs. Let's begin with sentences with 2 verbs. I often go to Starbucks and buy coffee. Here we have 2 verbs, go and buy. And the first verb, go, has to be in the te form. Let's finish the first part of the sentence. By the way, I'm not going to state the subject I, watashi wa, in the sentence since in Japanese, the subject I is often dropped, and in fact, it sounds more natural that way without watashi wa in the sentence. Okay, the first part. I often go to Starbucks. Yoku, often. Staba ni, to Starbucks. Itte, go and. Please know that the verb itte here means go and in English. By putting the verb in the te form, you are indicating that the sentence doesn't end there. It's still going to continue. So you don't have to use the word and in the sentence here. Instead, you simply use the te form of the verb. Let's finish the second part of the sentence. Buy coffee. コーヒーを買います. Very good. Now the sentence is complete. I often go to Starbucks and buy coffee is よくスタバに行ってコーヒーを買います。よくスタバに行ってコーヒーを買います。By the way, this is a Japanese comma. You don't have to use it all the time, but just so you know, many people tend to use it after each te form, especially when they're writing an essay, official document, or formal letter. Okay, now let's change the tense of the sentence. This time, we want to say the sentence in the past tense like this. Yesterday, I went to Starbucks and bought coffee. How do we do that? Previously, you learned that te form doesn't have any tense. It's completely neutral and influenced by the verb at the end of the sentence. So, that means we only need to change the ending verb 買います to the past tense. Let's do it. 昨日 yesterday スタバに to Starbucks 行って went and コーヒーを coffee 買いました bought. That's it. Yesterday, I went to Starbucks and bought coffee in Japanese is 昨日スタバに行ってコーヒーを買いました。昨日スタバに行っ ってコーヒーを買いました。Again, what matters here is the ending. The ending verb decides the tense of the entire sentence, so you don't change the te form for the past tense or any tense. Okay, let's continue with the lesson. Now, let's say we want to add one more action to the sentence after buy coffee, like this. I often go to Starbucks, buy coffee, and take a walk. Now we have 3 verbs in the sentence, and the action buy coffee no longer ends the sentence. So, that means we need to convert 買います into the te form, which is 買って、買って。And then, end the sentence with take a walk. 散歩します。散歩します。Now the sentence is complete. I often go to Starbucks, buy coffee, and take a walk in Japanese is よくスタバに行ってコーヒーを買って散歩します。よくスタバに行ってコーヒーを買って散歩します。And of course, if you want to say the sentence in the past tense, you only need to change the ending verb. Yesterday, I went to Starbucks, bought coffee, and took a walk. 昨日、スタバに行って、コーヒーを買って、散歩しました。From here in the course, I'll be teaching you how to change the speech style from formal to informal speech when you have multiple te forms in your sentences. You will also have some exercises to improve your pronunciation and fluency in Japanese. Join me in the te form master course and you are going to learn all about te form. Go to smilenihongo.com/te to learn more about the course.